Man, what's going on, my ASVAB party people? Anderson here, your ASVAB coach. I got a treat for you. We got a nice 2-hour class recording on mental math. And in this class, we were gracious enough here to get through addition, subtraction, and multiplication with mental math. So here's the thing. I want to make sure that you know exactly what you're getting into here because this class is going to be worth it. I promise you. You must make sure you know how to deal with numbers. If you don't know how to deal with numbers effectively and confidently, and I mean like without hesitation, then if you know how to do that, then you are going to give yourself so much more time to work on word problems. Because think about it, the more time you have to plan the problem out, the better. But if you have less time to plan because it takes you more time to calculate, then that's a problem. And with that kind of a problem, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. Think about it. How many times have you taken a practice test or the actual test and there's like 2 minutes left, but you've got like 8 problems, right? That feeling doesn't feel well. So with that said, get ready to get a lot of information here that's gonna be very useful for you in terms of elevating your game by using the things that you already know. Trust me, you know mental math. So get ready to enjoy it. And before we start, just one thing. If you want to learn more about my full program where all of my students raise their scores and get the jobs that they want, then go ahead and text me 567-698-8867 or check the link out in the description of this video. That way you can see all of the information, watch a video on how it works. That way you can make a really informed decision and have a much easier time studying. At the end of the day, 8 out of 10 applicants fail the ASVAB on their first try. And so why would you try to put yourself in a position where you're not certain that you'll do your best when all it takes is a small little look at this and you'll see exactly why it works so well. Classes, recordings, practice tests, texting me whenever you need help, where else can you find that? So with that said, I want to see you succeed, but first and foremost, watch this 2-hour session recording. That way we can bomb this test and get the score that we want. Let's get to it. I'll see you on the other side. So first things first, make sure you download your free mental math app. So anybody here who is currently using the iPhone mental math app, can you raise your hand and talk to us a little bit about how useful it's been for you? Go ahead, raise your hand if you've been using it for a while. I want to go ahead. Let's go ahead and start with Tatiana and then Sesh and then Evan right after that. Go ahead, Tatiana.
Oh, hi. I really like it. It's like a game to me. They have all the operations and you have like a certain amount of time to get them all done and you have to get like a certain amount of points, but you get faster and faster the more you practice.
Exactly. And the iPhone even shows you how long it takes you per problem, your accuracy, how many you got correct versus incorrect. Heck, if you pay, I think it's like $1.99. If you pay $1.99, it even shows you the types of numbers that you typically mess up with too. So honestly, that app is incredible. So if you have an iPhone, make sure to get that app. It's called Mental Math Cards and Games. Do yourself that favor, download that app. If you have an Android, Speed Math Mental Math Trainer is somewhat of an equivalent to it. I wouldn't say it's the absolute best mental math app ever, but I will say that it is useful. It's the best one that I found. So make sure to go ahead and download it. Seriously, it's really going to help you out. Really. And so let me go ahead and let these folks in there. And then go ahead, Sesh.
I was going to say the same thing. She just took the words.
It's all good. And then Evan, go ahead, brother. And Evan, there you go.
Hello.
Yep.
Oh man, it's been awesome. I've literally never done math. I remember I went out to eat at Jen's and I got my receipt and I already calculated how much change I was going to get back by just subtracting the amount that I paid. It helps a lot. Like right on the bat, I already knew what I was going to get back.
Yeah. And just like Tatiana said here, there are levels to it. So it doesn't start you off with ridiculous math in the beginning. No, you get to choose whether you want to go through easy, medium, or hard. It's up to you. And the point here is elevation. The point here is making sure that you can be confident when the numbers present themselves on the test. So for example, I'm going to make a very, very clear and easy point. Who here on their own, when they're practicing, who here feels really good about calculating, but then somehow on the test, it's like those numbers are like pointing finger guns at you, trying to make everything harder. Right? Right. And sometimes you just look at that like, I can't explain why this is. And that's the thing. It's not about what you can do when it comes to the ASVAB. It's about what you can do under pressure, what you can do when you're being timed, what you can do when your career is on the line. So you don't need to practice until you know it. You need to practice until you can do it without hesitation, without thinking about it. So something like 27 plus 15, you need to know that that's 42 without thinking about it. You just need to look at the numbers and say, boom, answer. If you can get to that point, you have just saved yourself a ton of time on the ASVAB. So let's go ahead and answer this question, everybody. It is a setup. So let's go ahead and answer this question here. About how much time, I'm not going to ask you for the exact amount of time, but about how much time do you get on the arithmetic reasoning section per question on the ASVAB? Per question. Who knows about how much time you get per question? And you can round. You can round. Some people say 2 minutes. Some people say 5 minutes. More people are saying 2 minutes. 30 seconds, 1 minute, 30. No, that's math knowledge. Math knowledge is about 1:16. No, so here's the thing. Look at this. This is a little worrisome, right? How do you expect to beat something when you don't know the conditions of the situation? You got to know the situation. The situation is you're going to get about 2 minutes and 30 seconds per question. That's the situation. That's the situation. You get about 2 minutes and 30 seconds per question. About. Now, let's be real here, everybody. Let's be real. So think of it like this. And this is the paper and pencil version. But think of it like this, everybody. Would it be advantageous to have to take about a minute 15 seconds to calculate? Does that sound like an advantage to you? Half the time that you have per question, you spend crunching numbers? Does that sound like having an advantage? Yeah, that's an advantage? Huh? Dang, so you're telling me word problems, as hard as they are, let's say it takes you about a minute, 30 seconds just to figure out what you need to do. And you better hope you get it in a minute and a half, because after that minute and a half mark, the rest of the time, it's calculating time. But think of it like this. What if you just take a little more time reading? What if you need that extra time to read and get those keywords and make a plan? And it takes you about 2 minutes to get all that done, put together. And the next thing you know, you only have 30 seconds to calculate. There's no time to check your work. No time to check your work. If you're not confident, there's no time to check your work. So the thing is, the point that we're making here is the better you get at mental math, everybody, the more time you have to actually plan the problem out. Because here's the thing. If you're really confident with calculating, all you need to worry about is making sure that your plan makes sense. Because once the plan makes sense, it's all calculation from there, right? It's all calculation. Save yourself that time. By getting better at mental math, you give yourself more time to plan word problems out. And as far as I know, I'm willing to bet that about 97% of the people here don't like word problems. And I'm not even gonna ask the question. I know, I'm looking at you. You know who you are. You're probably sitting there like, if I didn't have to take the AR, if I could chop off my pinky finger, I probably would. You know who you are. So with that said, and I see you guys laughing in the camera there. I've been doing this for a minute. You got to make sure you know how to calculate confidently. And what that means is without hesitation. So with that said, here we go. Mental math, again, gives you more time to plan. Today, we're going to go over two main strategies. These are the two strategies I teach for all four operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. All four of these work. The split and glue strategy, this is my favorite because it works in every single situation, no matter what. And then we have the estimation and compensation strategy. This one is more so a matter of, they're both a matter of convenience. But when you notice that you can use estimation and compensation, This one's like really, really, really convenient. Really convenient. Kind of like the whole $9.99 rounded to $10 kind of thing. That's estimation and compensation. Split and glue is when you split the numbers up and kind of glue them back together. So we're going to talk about that, both of them real quick. So take a second, everybody. Go ahead, take a picture of this. Feel free to. I'm going to look for my very, very luxurious glasses. I got my, oh, there we go. Looking for my very luxurious glasses over here. Go ahead and take your screenshot. Because we're going to start pretty soon here. And if you're here for the first time, yes, man, I have fun with my job. I have a lot of fun with my job. All right. And I'll give you a couple more seconds to take a screenshot here before I start going over it, because the last thing I want to do is talk while you're writing things down really frivolously. Here we go again, Simone. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right. So let's go and start talking about this. So the techniques are named they're named accordingly. So pay attention. So at this point, everybody, if you took a screenshot, put your pencil down. If you're still writing anything, put your pencil down. I don't care. This is where you want to pay attention. So split and glue. How split and glue works is like this. Split and glue, the first part, split, you're splitting the number up. So for example, like let's go ahead and say you're trying to add 47. Let's say you're trying to add 47, okay? The idea behind splitting and gluing is, let me just split the 47 up into the place value. And what I mean by place value is ones place, tens place, hundreds place, thousands place. Like, that's what I mean. Just split it. Split the 47 up into 40 and 7. Everybody, yes or no? Does that make sense? Splitting just means that you're splitting the number up into the tens and the ones place. This allows you to, instead of multiply or add by 47, a number that may not be automatically registering in your head, into two numbers that you know will automatically register in your head. Because everybody here knows how to add 4. Everybody here knows how to add 7. Yeah, it might take you a little longer, but that's okay. That's okay. But this is what it's about. You got to make sure you can basically split a hard problem into two easier ones. And then you glue it back together. Hence, split and glue. You can add the 40 first, then add the 7 next. So yes or no, everybody, does that make sense? Obviously, we're going to do some examples. We're going to do some examples, but yes or no, does the idea of splitting the number up and then gluing it one at a time make sense? Cool. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Sounds good. Sounds good. So one more time, splitting and gluing, you split the number up and glue it back together. That's it. So we'll go over examples. I got you. Now, estimation and compensation, this is, I want to go over one as well. Again, this one's really based off of convenience, but I want to show you what I mean by this. So for example, let's go ahead and say we have something like 99 plus, let's go ahead and say 87. If we're looking at something like 99 plus 87, everybody, I'm looking at that and I'm saying, yo, let me just make that 100 plus 87. But everybody, how much extra did I put from 99 to 100? Yeah, just one. Just one. And so what I'll do is I'll treat this as 100 plus 87 minus 1. Because guess what? Is a 100 plus 87 not the easiest thing you've seen all day? It's pretty easy, right? 100 plus 87, that's 187. Then you subtract 1 and you get 186. And so that's what estimation and compensation is. You estimate to the nearest number that you can work with easily, and you compensate for it by taking that number back. So if you're working it with a subtraction or addition, you got to get used to the direction that you're going in, but it definitely is something that's worth knowing because it can save you. Absolutely, especially when it comes with money. Anybody here get frustrated when they see problems like, yeah, this person bought a $1.99 piece of candy, and then they bought a shirt that was on sale for $15.75, and then they also got a pair of jeans that were on sale for $20.99. How much total did you spend? Anybody here look at these problems like, yeah, I love this? Probably not. But if you can estimate and compensate, you can turn that into $2, $16, $21. Add them up, then take away 2 pennies and take away a quarter. And there you go. You can make your life a lot easier. Obviously, it takes time to get used to the speed, but that's not what we're here for today. Today, we're going to learn the idea. We're really going to ingrain the idea, and then we're going to practice and get faster and faster and faster. That's the way learning should be done. Confidence before quickness. I want you to be confident before you're quick. So with that said, who is ready to try some out? Who's ready to actually get to this and crush this? All right, sounds good. So let's go ahead here. Let me just make sure that nobody is dying here. Okay, cool. Oh, someone just can't come. No worries. All right, so with that, here's what we're going to do. Let me get this timer up on the screen. So let me just get this here. Timer here. I'm going to give you all, I believe it was 2 minutes for this one. Sounds good. And then let me get this on the screen. I do have my magical timer that's going to appear right here. All righty. So here we go, my party people. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to try as many of these as you can. Use whatever technique you want. You can try it on paper. You can try mental math. It's up to you. Because again, I haven't really showed you this yet. I haven't actually worked problems out. So just do your best. 3, 2, come on, 1. It's not one of the, oh, I see why. 2 seconds, guys. I got you. So here, nice and easy. And I got you down right here. Boom. And done. And starting now. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Let's get it. Try your best, do your best, and then we'll reconvene in 2 minutes. Try to do as many of these as you can. And again, do it by paper, do it in your head. Up to you. Up to you. Just try them out. Do what you can. All right, so time is up. Time is up. So here's the expectation, everybody. So here's the thing. We went ahead and sorry, I'm still in my gym clothes. So here's the thing. When we check out these 8 problems here, everybody, what's a reasonable amount of time do you think that this should take you? Do you think maybe all 2 minutes is reasonable? Do you think 1.5 minutes, maybe even more than 2 minutes? How much time do you think is reasonable to get this done? What do you think? 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes is too much. 15 seconds, Nathan, that's crazy. Okay. 5 minutes, 1 minute, a little more than 2 minutes. Okay, cool. So look at all of these responses. Look at how different they are. And this is just really pointing to everybody's perspective, because how you perceive how quickly this should be done is really going to be up to you and your experience. Because I can tell you right now, if someone here was leaning toward using paper and pencil the whole time and wasn't exactly too confident with math, they might say 2 minutes or more. Someone who's been studying mental math with me and practicing a ton might say, yo, this should take you less than 45 seconds. Again, it's really up to you and your perspective. But I want you to remember this moment. Remember this right here. How long you said this should take you, because I can promise you, you can get it done faster. And I'm going to show you how, starting with number 1. 42 plus 19. Let's try this out here. So when I'm looking at 42 plus 19, there's really 2 convenient ways to do this: splitting and gluing, or estimating and compensating. Let me show you when it comes to splitting and gluing first. Here's one way to think about it, everybody. You can think of this as 42 plus 19, or you can say, hey, this is 42 plus 10 plus 9. Everybody, yes or no? 19 is the same thing as 10 plus 9. Yes or no? Right? Absolutely is. Absolutely is. And remember, this is happening in your head. This is happening in your head. I'm going to take 42. I'll add the 10 first, then I'll add the 9. That's it. Add the 10, then add the 9. That's all mental math is. So before you get the chance to do this, before you even get the chance to finish writing it out, I can figure out that that is 61. Watch. 42 plus 10, 52. Then go ahead in your head, add the 9. Really, all you got to focus on is the 2 plus the 9. That's 11. So boom, carry the 1, 61. So everybody, yes or no, does that make sense in terms of one way? Because there's more than one way, but does this way make sense in terms of how we can make the process faster? Feels good, right? Cool. I like it. All right, so here's the other way, everybody. The other way that we can get this done is by estimating and compensating. Everybody, 19 is awfully close to what number? 19 is awfully close to 20, right? Awfully close to 20. We're allowed to do that. So allow me to just shrink this for a moment, because I know some of us are wanting to write this down. So I got you. I'm just going to shrink this for a moment and put it right over here. Everybody, 19 is awfully close to 20. But how close to 20 is it? What do we have to do to 20 to go back down to 19, everybody? Chanasa, great job, Brett. Exactly, subtract 1. We just have to subtract 1. So what we can do here is estimate and compensate. We can turn the 19 into 20 minus 1. Again, this is happening in your head to make the process faster. So I'm taking a look at this and I'm saying, yo, 42 plus 20 minus 1, 42 plus 20, 62, 62 minus 1, 61. Done. Right there. Is anybody here looking at this like, yo, this is possible? Yes or no? Anybody looking at this like, okay, I see this. I see that this can be faster. Right on. Right on. Happy to hear it. But let's make sure that we can keep that energy up. So yeah, again, there's more than 2 ways. There are a ton of different ways to apply mental math. You can also just do 40 plus 10, then plus 9 plus 2. You can do it in whatever order you want. I'm just teaching you 2 main ways, but there's literally like 7 or 8 different ways that you can think about mental math for sure. So 34 minus 28. So hopefully we can get to the point where we can do this fairly quickly, but I can also show you mental math here. In your head, you can think of this as 34 minus 20 minus 8. Because everybody, think of it like this. If I take away 20 and I take away 8, is that the same thing as taking away 28? Is that the same thing? Yes, it is. So everybody, what did I just do? Is that estimating and compensating, or is that splitting and gluing? Which one is that? Sebastian, I thought they were all addition. No worries, no worries, no worries. We can fix it up. If you thought that this was addition, you would have gotten 62. So if you got 62, you're good. But this is subtraction here. Yeah, so this is splitting and gluing. This one is splitting and gluing for sure. So, hey, try it out. 34 minus 20, that's going to be 14. And then 14 minus 8. From right there, we just take care of that business right there. And we should be able to determine that that is 6. We should, because think about it. If you're practicing with your mental math app, the 1-star, you're going to have problems like this all day. Yes or no? True or false? Those of you that are in the mental math app for iPhone, how often does this pop up? All the time, right? All the dang time. And so we got to make sure we know these things, because it's going to give you the opportunity to do mental math so much faster. I'm telling you right now, 34 minus 28 is less pretty than 14 minus 8. Less pretty. The answer is 6. The answer is 6. Now, when it comes to estimating and compensating, we got an 8 right there. That's awfully close. So let me go ahead and frame this another way, everybody. Let's frame this another way. Everybody, is it possible? Let me present it. I'm going to ask you if this is possible. If I'm subtracting 28, is it possible for me to instead subtract 30? If I subtract 30 instead, what do I have to do to kind of compensate for that? If I subtract too much, I got to add back, not subtract. So this is where there's those like slight misunderstandings here. So I'm glad that you said that. But we have to add 2 back, because think about it. You're subtracting here. So if you subtract too much, you got to add a little back, right? If I subtract too much, I got to add a little bit back. And so if I subtract too much, like 30, that's too much. Number 2, too much. And so you can add 2 back. And if you do that, look at how easy this is. Look at how easy this is. In my head, 34 minus 30, 4 plus 2, 6, done. Which one do you think would have been easier for you to use in this problem specifically? Estimating and compensating or split and glue? Which one would have been easier for you to think about? Which one? Estimating and compensating or splitting and gluing? Krishan says split and glue. This current one, estimating and compensating. Cool. And so look at how I'm taking my time and showing you both. Because if I only show you one way, that's not true mental math. Mental math is the ability to think about numbers fluidly in many different ways. I'm showing you two today, but in the videos that I showcase, you're going to see that I show a bunch of different types of techniques. And again, once you understand and accept mental math, once you see a new technique, you're like, oh, anybody here saw that video last week where I did the rule for 5, multiplying and dividing by 5? Who remembers that video from last week? Because that was on YouTube, and that's just another technique. Right on, guys. Yeah, that's just another technique. And so again, once you see these techniques in action and you see how useful it is, money. Let's go and keep moving here. 67 plus 43. There's a convenience here, everybody. What's the convenience that we notice? Muhammad, right there, 7 and 3. Yeah, 7 and 3. Check this out right here, guys. 7 and 3. What does 7 and 3 make? It makes 10. It makes 10, everybody. So here's the convenience behind this. If you just take a second to analyze before you actually do a problem, you can turn 67 plus 43 into this. You can turn it into 70 plus 40. Everybody, which one's easier? 67 plus 43 or 70 plus 40? Which one's easier to you? Right, the 70 plus 40 is easier all day. 70 plus 40 is easier all day. And there's another way you can think about this. You can actually separate these if you wanted to as well. This is another way you can do it. You can also separate it like this. Oh, I got a 7 plus a 3. Sounds good. Because I'm going to turn this into 60 plus 40 plus what at the end, everybody? Plus 10. Exactly. That's another way you can think about it. This one's actually more of my favorite. I like thinking about it this way instead. But yes or no, does that make sense? You have a 60, you have a 40, and a 7 plus 3 makes 10. So you can put that 10 on the side in your head, nice and easy. 60 plus 40 is pretty convenient. That's 100. 100 plus 10. Don't even have to think. You're adding zeros. So that's 110. That's 110 right there. Boom. And so with that, so Maya, I see here they said you're slightly confused, and it's all good. I got you. So I want to show you one more time, Maya. So Maya, right here. Maya, do you see that 7 and 3 together? 7 plus 3 makes 10. Yes or no? Right? So Maya, so this is splitting and gluing actually. So this is just a different way to look at it, but it's still splitting and gluing. It's just the same. Because if I look at this, I have 60 right here, 40 right there, and then I just split apart the 7 and the 3. So I basically just split both of these up into 10 right there. Do you see that there now, Maya? Let me know. Because we just took the 7 and the 3 and notice there's a convenient situation here to make a 10. Let me know, Maya. I'll wait for your response there. That's all we did. We kept the 60 here, the 40 there, and I just took the 10 out. Yes and no, don't worry, because with practice, we'll see how we can get there for sure. So I'm going to answer some questions here. So Mr. Hall, Dwight, what's going on, man? Hope you had a good weekend. What is your question? What's up, boss?
Goody, you can hear me, coach?
I can. What's up, man? What's the question?
Yeah, I mean to this track of class, but I'm kind of a little bit confused, coach, because the thing is most of the time when I read most of the maths question, I kind of like just lose focus. I'm gonna know if I should add, and my vibe just broke, coach, to be honest.
So were you doing these problems with paper and pencil first?
Yes, sir. Because the first question that they give us, the first question they give is with the 42 plus 19, I get 51. That's what I did. And I feel a little bit like that question, I get that the answer that I get for it is 51. And that's
So when we do 42 plus 19, I got you right here. So when we have a 2
Yeah.
plus a 9, that's going to be 11, right?
yeah.
What happens to the 1 right there? That's what we forgot.
I put down the 1 right there, and I just add like the 9. I just add like I think I add the 40, the 4 and 1. I get 5 right there. That's
Right.
what I did.
And then you got to bring that 1 back to make it 6.
Oh.
Right there. So that shows me that we need to practice our paper and pencil version first to the point where we can feel confident with this. And that's all good. So while we practice today, make sure you continue focusing on doing this the right way, because then the next step after that is going to be that mental math.
All right. I'm going to screenshot. I'm going to take a picture of it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'll leave it there for a second. I got you. So up next here, Cameron, what's going on, my man? How can we help? You should have the mic now, Cameron. Go ahead. Two, one, and going over to Team Sesh.
For the 38 minus 28, I actually got 10 by accident.
It's 34 minus 28, not 38 minus 28.
Oh, yeah, that I got 10 by accident when I was solving that equation.
So here so 34 minus 28 will give you 6. So another way you can think about subtraction, and everybody tell me if you think this is a cool way to think about it, because this is another mental math technique. And again, I'm just showing you different ways. You pick what you like, right? You pick what you like. This is like the world's best ice cream shop. There's so many good flavors. Pick one. So everybody think about it like this. If I'm doing 34 minus 28, think about a number in the middle that you can base it off of, because true or false, everybody, subtracting is the same thing as saying how far apart are these numbers? Yes or no?
Yes.
Right? That's what subtraction is. How far apart are these numbers? So think of it like this, everybody. I want to anchor. This is called anchoring. So this is another technique. You can take it if you like it. Don't worry about it. Go la, 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 la if you don't want to hear this. But anchoring is this. I'm going to use 30 in the middle, because 34 minus 28, a convenient number in the middle is 30. And so all I got to do is ask myself, yo, how far apart is 28 from 30? That's 2. How far apart is 34 from 30? That's 4. Add up the difference, and that's 6. Still the same answer. So that's a mental math technique. If I'm subtracting, like, let's say 35 minus 28, 35 minus 28, 5 down, 2 up, that's 7. So it's, again, just one or more ways of thinking about it conveniently. Cool. Yeah, just glad I could help, guys. Glad it works out. Again, I'm not here to force y'all to learn everything here. I'm not forcing you at all. I'm inviting you to try mental math out. That's really what mental math is. I'm not going to force you to do it. It is just a way to think about numbers to give yourself an easier time. I got y'all, man. I got y'all. So let's go ahead and try this next one out here. 49 plus 39 here. So everybody, who here went split and glue? Who here tried estimating and compensating this for this one? What did we try? What did we try? Split and glue, split and glue, split, 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 split. Montel tried estimating and compensating. Yeah, everybody, I'm going to try this out. Watch this. I'm going to go ahead and try, instead of doing 49 plus 39 and writing all this out, instead of doing all that mumbo jumbo, why don't I just say, yo, let me go ahead, make that 50, but remind myself that I got to subtract 1. Let me make that 40. And again, remind myself that I got to subtract 1. So when I add this up, 50 plus 40 is 90. Then 90 minus 2 gives me 88. Right there. Again, you can do that in your head. You can do that in your head. Another way you can think of it, if you wanted to go with splitting and gluing, I'd imagine that you might have said 49 plus 30, 89, or excuse me, 79, right? You see where I mess up? 79 plus 9, 88. You could think of it that way. Works for a lot of people. Doesn't work for everybody, though. But another way you could think of it is by splitting it this way. You could split it as 40 plus 30 plus the sum here, 9 plus 9, which is 18. And so you can think of it like that. 40 plus 30 is 70, 70 plus 18, 88. And that's another way that you can get the answer. Again, there's so many different ways, I'm just showing you a way that, or a few different ways that can make sense. And I want you to pay attention enough to choose which one's most convenient for you. Now, again, if you're having trouble adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing basic numbers, like 1-2 digit numbers, then I really do recommend working on that, because these mental math techniques are meant to be shortcuts, but you can't take shortcuts if you don't know the regular path. You can't recognize the shortcuts if you don't know the regular path. Anybody here ever played Mario Kart? Yes or no? Anybody here ever played Mario Kart? All right, sounds good. Is it easy to spot a shortcut if you don't know the regular route first? No, not at all. You can't, right? You can't spot a shortcut if you don't even know the map at all, right? If it's your first time driving the map, good luck spotting a shortcut and knowing exactly where it's going to take you and trusting that it's going to be the right way to go. So that's the same thing here. If you don't know the regular way, then it's going to be a little tougher to appreciate the convenience of a shortcut. Exactly. I can get you to last place. Exactly. So I'm going to speed up slightly here, everybody. I'm going to speed up slightly here. But I do want to make sure that everybody here is on the same page. So next up here, 94 plus 96. Watch this, everybody. I'm going to show you something different here. Everybody, what if I took the 6 from the 96 and popped it over with the 94? Would that be convenient? Because 96 is really, or 94 is awfully close to what number? 94 is awfully close to what? 100. Exactly. It's awfully close to 100. You only need 6 numbers. And guess what? There's a 6 right there. Look at that. So I can turn this problem from 94 plus 96 to 100 plus 90. Look at that. 190. Nice and easy. 190, nice and easy. Another way that you could have done it, 90 plus 90 plus 10. So 180 plus 10, 190. That's another way you could have done it. Another way you could have done it would have been 100 plus 100 minus 4 minus 6 or minus 10. Again, so many different ways that you could have done this, but notice how we can take disgusting looking numbers and turn them into puppies. Who doesn't love puppies and sunshine, right? So let's go ahead and take it over to 58 plus 55. So 58 plus 55, if you don't like puppies and sunshine, man, hey, I'm not going to say it because I'm planning on putting this video on YouTube. So here we go, 58 plus 55 here. So check this out. If I'm checking out 58 plus 55, you can think of this as 50 plus 50 plus whatever 8 plus 5 is. Can you do 8 plus 5 in your head, everybody? Yes or no? What is 8 plus 5? That's all it depends on. Mental math depends on your simple numbers here. What's 8 plus 5, everybody? Hit me. 8 plus 5, 8 plus 5, 8 plus 5. Hit me. Come on. 13. There's a 13 at the end. Again, in your head. And now you have 50 plus 50, which is 100. 100 plus 13. Easiest math you'll do all day. Easiest math you'll do all day. The 50 plus 50 is 100. The 8 plus 5 is 13. 113. Next up here, 83 minus 29. 83 minus 29. Everybody, is there an avenue for estimation and compensation here? Is there an avenue? Yeah, there is an avenue here. Yes. Everybody, 29 is awfully close to what number? What convenient number? 30. Now let's stop for a second and ask ourselves, everybody, what makes 30 convenient? What makes 30 convenient? Like, someone raise your hand and answer that question for me. What makes 30 convenient in this situation? I want to just hear it from you so that way everybody else understands the idea of estimation and compensation. So David, go ahead, my man. How you doing? what's the convenience behind using 30 instead of 29?
Okay, pretty good, coach. Pretty good. Now, the convenience about using 30 is that, we can use 30 now, but we're going to have to take away one from that answer later because we added one before.
Right. That's what we're doing. But why is it convenient to use 30 instead of 29? That's my question. Why is it convenient?
Oh, I mean, that's because what? Don't because we have to add one to it because it's the close enough. Oh, the 0. Oh, right, it is 0.
Yeah, everybody, isn't it easier? Like, for example, what would you rather add by? Would you rather add by 45, add by 67, subtract by 99, or would you rather deal with adding 50, subtracting 60, subtracting 80? What looks cleaner? What looks cleaner? The ones with the zeros. The ones with the zeros at the end. That's what
Definitely
makes
the
it
ones with zeros
convenient. So that's what I mean when I say make it convenient for yourself. Because if you're using zeros here, that's a lot easier to handle because you're only worrying about one less digit. You're only worried about the tens place, not the tens and the ones place. Yes or no, everybody? Does that make a little more sense in terms of the reasoning that we're using? Like, this is what mental math is. Mental math is applying laziness and logic. That's what mental math is. I don't want to go ahead and do all this work, so let me figure out how to do it in my head. We're being lazy and logical at the same time. That's what mental math is. So let's go ahead and get it done. So here we go, 83 minus 29. Here's what we got, my party people. So let's go ahead and just move all this out of the way. Exactly, work smarter, not harder, guys. Smarter, not harder. So here we go, 83 minus 29. I'm going to switch that up and just subtract 30. But everybody, I subtracted too much. So do I have to give that one back, right? I have to add that one back, right? Yes, I have to add that one back to make up for it. Not subtract one. Think about it. If I put minus 30 minus 1, that's minus 31, not 29. So you got to be thinking about that real quick. And it takes time, but once you get it down, you're fine. So minus 30, add 1 back. So that's going to turn into right here. Help me out, everybody. What's 83 minus 30? 83 minus 30 gives me, nice and easy, conveniently, that is 53. Because you only have to deal with the 3, not the 0. Exactly. 53. Then we add 1 back. And that becomes, in our heads, 54. 54. Right there. So again, this is all happening in your head. This is not happening on paper and pencil. This is happening in your head. And again, I want to remind everybody, if you are having trouble with this right here, what I need you to make sure you do is practice the regular way. You have to put in the time and actually do, okay, and then remind yourself and practice how to borrow ones. 13 minus 9 gives you 4, then 7 minus 2 gives you 5, and there's the correct answer. You have to practice that. You need to be comfortable with that before you do this. Have to, okay? Absolutely have to. So the reason that we added 1 back, Eudelis, is because, remember this, when I estimated to 30, if I subtract 29 versus subtracting 30 is subtracting 1 more than you needed to. So you have to give it back. You have to add it back to make up for it. Because subtracting 30 and adding 1 is the same thing as subtracting 29. That's the convenience of it, Eudelis. Let me know if that makes sense. Oh yeah, for sure, Geraldine. That's genius as well. That's another technique here. So basically it's called boarding, or chaining, excuse me. It's called chaining. So this technique, Geraldine, genius move. So what Geraldine suggested was this. Instead of doing 83 minus 29, what if you just added 1 to both of the numbers to make it 84 minus 30? That works. But chaining only works for subtraction. And that's why I'm not teaching it openly, because I'm only teaching you techniques that will apply for everything. Split and glue and estimation computation works for addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Chaining only works for subtraction. So I want to be careful about showing you that, because it's very dangerous for y'all. Sometimes you want to go ahead and apply it to everything else. So like for the same reason, like if you have, 3 minus 1, if you add 2 to both of them, 5 minus 3, they're still 2 numbers apart. So you're just making it more convenient in that way. So Geraldine, great job pointing that out. But again, I don't teach that specifically because it's only effective for subtraction. But great job though, great job. So last one here, 98 minus 79. 98 minus 79. So with this one, this is classic estimating compensating. Yes, you can do 98 minus 70, 28, 28 minus 9 to get 19. Yes, absolutely. But estimating and compensating here is king because you can turn this into minus 80 and then just add 1 back. And so then you have 98 minus 80, which is going to be 18, add 1, and you got yourself your 19. Boom. So either way, you can get the correct answer. Either way, you can get the correct answer. But it's, again, all about the convenience there. All about the convenience. Right, and the 18 plus 1 gives you the 19. Right on. So with that said, that is our first round here. I want to give you the opportunity to try this again with addition and subtraction again. And then I'm going to give you the opportunity again one more time. And then we're going to move into multiplication. Then we're going to move into division as well. Let me just double check where I placed a certain piece of note. I'm an idiot. Okay, cool. So right after these next 2 drill sets, I'm going to put up the raffle for winning the free shirt. All right, right in the middle there. So we're going to go ahead and answer some questions real quick here. What's up, Krishan? Yeah, Krishan, exactly. You got that exactly right, Krishan. So over here, we added the 1 back because we took away too many. We're supposed to be subtracting 79, not 80. And so to make up for that, before the police come knocking on our door saying, yo, you did that math wrong. No, I'm going to take away the 80, but then put back what I stole. Because I took away too much. I took away 1 too much. Let me go and put that back because I don't want to steal it. So Krishan, right on, man. That makes sense. Exactly, the math police. Still getting used to mental math because I've been using the pen and paper. So really quick, anybody out there, let me just make sure that y'all trust this. Who here, and be very honest, do not speak if this does not apply to you. Is anybody here willing to say right now that they were doing paper and pencil the whole time up until, let's go ahead and say, a month or 2 months ago? Then they started using mental math and only tried to use mental math for a long time, and eventually it just clicked. Who here is there? Boom, 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 boom. Okay? I'm telling you, it's convenient. You save yourself up to 40 seconds per question. 40 seconds, man. That's literally a third or more of the time on the arithmetic reasoning, depending on which paper and pencil or computer version you're taking. But it can save you, again, up to 33, 40% of the time on the ASVAB. It's crazy. It's crazy. You just have to put in the work and the consistency, but it's like 5 minutes a day. All you have to take is 5 minutes a day on the app. The same time you spend scrolling on TikTok, even though I'm willing to bet that the time you spend on TikTok is probably closer to like 2 or 3 hours a day. You know who I'm talking about. You know who you are. We shouldn't be on TikTok if you're older than 23 years old for more than 5 minutes a day. I'm not calling you out by name. I know who you are. So with that said, let's go ahead and let's give it another try this next round. I mean, if you feel attacked, you can't sue me because I didn't call you by name. So with that said, let me go ahead and get this timer up. And here we go. Next round, I invite you to try mental math out. I invite you to try it. But again, do whichever way you prefer. Paper and pencil, that's fine. That's fine. Just do it faster. Mental math, give it your best shot. 3, 2, 1, let's get it. So we got 49 plus 18. So let's go ahead and check these out. All right, so 49 plus 18, Mike, here we go. So 49 plus 18, everybody, what'd you choose here? Convenience by estimating and compensating, splitting and gluing, paper and pencil. What did you do here? How many glasses do I own? Don't ask me. I have like a tray of them right here. It makes class fun. I mean, I got rulers here, even though I'm on a screen. What am I going to use this for? Like, no. So I'm a teacher. I got a lot of things. So here we go. Crazy, man, crazy. Yes, sir. So, and proud to be so. So here we go. I'm going to show you all two ways here. Splitting and gluing and estimating and compensating. So when it comes to estimating and compensating here, let me show you there's two ways to really think about it. You can think of it like this: 50, then take away the 1, right? And then bring the 18. So when I think of it like this, if you wanted to do convenience by estimating and compensating, there's a better way to think about it. And what I mean by better, it's slightly faster. And with more practice, it becomes a lot faster. But there's a slightly faster way to do this. Everybody, it's this. So remember how I talked about chaining with subtraction? This is what chaining with addition technically looks like, even though it's nowhere near the same thing. This is like the addition version of chaining. I can say, yo, what if, let me erase this real quick. What if I took a 1 from the 8 and put it with the 49? Everybody, true or false? If I took a 1 over here and added it over here, would that make this 50 plus 17? Could you think about 49 plus 18 as 50 plus 17? Yeah, it takes time to get used to it. But if you talk about borrowing in that sense, because think about it, if you're doing this, you're going to carry the 1 anyway, right? You're going to carry the 1 anyway. So might as well preemptively carry that little 1 right there, boom, to make the problem easier in your head and still get it done before the person next to you writes down the problem. So you could do it like that and get 67. You could absolutely do it like that and get 67. But if we're talking about the regular ways that we've been doing it, again, we could just go ahead and say, yo, this is the same thing as 40 plus 10. And then everybody, what is 9 plus 8? Hit me quickly. 9 plus 8 is what? 17. Yep. So let's think of it from the regular perspective here. I got you. So Krishan, yeah, for sure, man, I got you. You know I always got you. So here, Krishan, watch this. So you can think of it like this. You got 40, 10, and then you bring the ones together. You split the ones and bring them together. So you got 9 plus 8, that's 17. So notice how you got a 0 here, a 0 there, makes it super convenient. You got 50 in your head, 50, and you still got that convenient 17, because guess what, my guy? Guess what? 7 plus 0, don't even have to think about it. That's going to be 67. So Krishan, let me know if that made a little more sense there, boss. So that's the traditional split and glue technique. How you split the 10s, bring them together, split the 1s, bring them together, and you're good. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So when it comes to, Matt asked a good question here. So Matt asked, do you recommend always rounding up to the largest number when doing estimating and compensation compared to the smaller, or whichever is closest to the equaling 10? So Matt, when you're doing the lower number, that's split and glue. When you do the higher number, that's estimating and compensating. So technically, if you go to the lower number and you add that back, that's splitting and gluing, because you split it to the 10s and the 1s. So naturally, that's splitting and gluing. Naturally. So let me know if that makes sense, man. So like if you're kind of going to the lower number, like if I'm going from 49 down to 40, I'm gonna add the 9. So that's splitting and gluing. Yeah. So yeah, so if you were asking this question, is splitting and gluing and estimating and compensating the same thing? Yep. They're literally the same mental math technique. One just goes up, one goes down. That's it. Yeah. Oh, here in this one, this was just a magical number because you notice convenience. If I had a 50 here, that'd be great. So let me just take 1 from it to make it 50. That's just another way to think about it. But here we go. 66 plus 83. We're going to speed up the process just a little bit. Estimating and compensating. 60 and 80. In my head, that makes 140. And then over here, this is actually super convenient because 6 plus 3 is 9. 149. 149, nice and easy. 149, nice and easy. Coming up next, 86 plus 84. Quick, what's the convenience? What's the convenience here? What is the convenience? Yeah, you got 80 plus 80 plus the extra what? The 4 and the 6, right? Exactly, Sammy. 4 and 6, Christian, thank you, makes 10. So watch this, everybody. We got 80 plus 80 in my head. That's already 160. I already got that. And then I noticed, ooh, look at this. 6 and 4, that makes 10. That's convenient. 80 plus 80, 160. 160 plus 10 is 170. In my head, you can get that done faster than you can write it down and solve. Faster than that. Next, 52 plus 83. I'm checking this out. Splitting and gluing, nice and easy. I can have 50 and 80, which makes 5 plus 8. Everybody quick, what is that? 5 plus 8 is what? 5 plus 8, 5 plus 8, 5 plus 8 is 13. So 50 plus 80 is what? 50 plus 80 is what? 130, exactly. So that was 50. Again, that's 50. That's 80, which makes 130. And then all you got to do is bring back the extra 5. 135. 135. Yo, Shatik, you look like you just met Jesus, man. Is this happening for you? I never seen you smile that hard, man. I like it. I like it. So here we go. 99 plus 66. 99 plus 66. Let's try this one out here. Everybody, what is the convenience here? What is the convenience that we can take advantage of? Yeah, exactly. The borrowing of the 1, right? If I just took right here, if I just made this a 5 to make it 65, I can make that 100. If I just borrowed the 1 and made that 100, with that 65, guess what? I got 165. And you can do a problem like that in less than 2 seconds. Less than 2 seconds. It can happen. Next up, 39 plus 18. Let's go. 39 plus 18 here. Checking this out. Convenience here again. I'm going to take a look at this and I'm going to say, yo, let me go another way, actually, because you can say 40 plus 7, or you can say 40 plus 17 to make 57. I'm sure a lot of us see that, right? We can turn that into 40 plus 17. Because what I did was, remember, that's really close to 40. I just need a 1. So if I take a 1 from here, that's 40, that's 17, 57. But here's the other way I want to show y'all, guys. The other way is, yo, let me just go ahead and let me just add 20. Let me just go ahead and instead of adding 18, let me add 20. And then let me take away 2. In my head, this becomes 39 plus 20, 59. That's really ugly. Let me actually do y'all some justice here. 59, and then subtract the 2. You still get 57. Again, 2 different ways. There's literally 7 different ways that you could do this. It's all convenient, best for you. Like whatever's best for you, do it. If it's still paper and pencil, do it. Do it, do it, do it. Whatever it is you're going to do it all the way. Do it all the way. Alex, perfect. Yep. 40 plus 18 minus 1 works perfectly fine. Because notice how that 18 minus 1 is that 17. Priscilla, exactly. This saves you an insane amount of time. And we're just doing addition and subtraction right now. I can't wait to show you multiplication and division. Once you get division down, everybody listen to me. Arguably, yes or no, is division the hardest operation for you? Be honest. Is division the hardest operation for you? Okay, cool. I think literally nobody said no yet. Everybody said yes, right? So there's the thing. Division is the hardest operation because there are so many times where you can get decimals, so many times where you can get irrational numbers, so many times, or not irrational numbers, but you can get repeating decimals, not irrational numbers. But that's the thing. When you get to the point where you master mental math with division, it's because everything else comes together. When you do mental math for division, you're automatically doing addition, subtraction, and multiplication, all of them at once to do division mental math. And so when you wake up and you're confident with division mental math, I can guarantee you you're scoring above a 60 on the ASVAB, full stop. I can guarantee you. If you can do mental math division and you don't get a 60 plus on the AFQT, I will promise you, if you pay for my program, I'll give you all your money back. All of it. Because I can guarantee you that you got it. I can guarantee you. So here we go. 45 plus 45, everybody. 45 plus 45. Oh, word? Yes, word. All right, so here we go. So 45 plus 45, here we go. I'm going to just look at this. Eventually, you'll look at this and you know it's 90 without even trying. I can guarantee you that. You'll look at this one day and you'll know it's 90. But right here, you can treat this like 40 plus 40. Everybody, what's 5 plus 5? I know it's so hard. I know. What's 5 plus 5? Plus 10, right? So we have 40 plus 40 is 80. Plus 10 gives you 90. Nice and easy. Yeah, or you can just borrow. Yeah, exactly. You can borrow initially. You can put the 5 over there to make it 50 plus 40, 90. But again, it's really all up to you, whichever way you want to see it. It's up to you. So here we go. I think this is the last one here. Yep. 34 plus 66. Very convenient. You can borrow the 6 to make it 40 plus 60 to make 100. Or you can say 30 plus 60. 4 plus 6. Let me not use that color. Let me use a better color. 4 plus 6 is 10. All of that together gives you 100. Nice and easy. So who here was perfect on all 8? Who here was perfect on all 8? Nice. Anybody here use mental math and get all 8? All right. All right. I see y'all. All right. All right. So here we go. Next one here. I'm going to give y'all a minute or 2 minutes, actually. The whole 2 minutes, 15 seconds. Let me start the timer here. All right. 3, 2. Here we go, guys. Let's get it. Serious time. I did not expect everyone here to get every single question done. Did not expect it. You had the same amount of time, but you had 3 extra problems. And then if you notice right up here, we're looking at 3 digits. And then down here, we're looking at decimals, 3 money problems. So everybody, yes or no? Are money problems on the ASVAB common? Are money problems on the ASVAB common? So great. So, okay, awesome, right? Yep, they're common. Now, let me be very transparent as to why I didn't include these in the beginning. Everybody, can you faithfully expect to get decimal money problems done quickly if you aren't able to get those done quickly? Can you faithfully expect that out of yourself? Can you expect that? No, right? It's not realistic. It's not realistic. And so that's why I'm warming you up and leveling up slowly but surely. So this is where you want to get to. You want to be able to do money problems right there, snap of a finger. But it takes time to develop it, everybody. Remember, your first day learning how to drive a car, I bet you didn't go on the highway on your first day. I bet whoever taught you how to drive was like, you crazy if you think I'm going to take you on the highway. We're going to sit in this parking lot and we're going to go ahead and learn how to park, reverse. Hell, I'm going to teach you how to turn the car on, right? That's your first day of driving. So I just want to make sure I express that for anybody here who's like, I want to learn how to do the big boy problems. Well, let's go ahead and slow down, okay? I got you. So here we go. I'm going to give you the answers here. So I'm going to do these live for you. So 97 plus 73, that's 170. That's what you should have got for the first one. Juan, I'm so sorry. So 88 plus 41, that should be 129. 84 plus 17 should be 101. 75 plus 35 should be 110. 59 plus 92 should be 151. 88 plus 96 should be 184. 90 plus 79 should be 169. 117 plus 233 should be 240, 250, 350. And then, did anybody catch that right there? Who caught that? Right here. I said it out loud. I said the split and glue out loud. Notice what I did. I said 233, 240, 250, 350. I did the addition in my head one by one as I got there. So that's really how it should sound in your head. When you do split and glue, you want to do it in that way, one at a time, whether it's the ones digits or the hundreds or the tens. You get to pick what's more convenient to start with, because no matter what, you're adding them all anyway. So I really do want to express that. Got to make sure you understand that. Now here we go. This is where we are at our best now. Everybody, this was subtraction, not addition. I'm sorry to say, If you got $69.99, great job. That was the addition, but this is subtraction. No, and no worries. I get it because I know the screen is blurry if you're streaming from home. I know. So it's on me. I could have made this bigger. That's on me. That's on me. No, nothing wrong. But here we go. Everybody, what is convenient here? Splitting and gluing or estimating and compensating. What is the way to go here? Chanasa, estimating and compensating. Yeah, same thing. Millie, Israel. Yeah, exactly. It's very convenient to estimate and compensate. So pay attention, everybody. Because again, I just want to show you how annoying it would be if you went the regular way. Like, let me just show you here. If you would have gone the regular way, this could be hell. Because what you're doing here is you got 50.00 minus 19.99. Look at how much hell this is. If you got to borrow the 1 over here to make that a 10, then you got to borrow from there to make that a 9, to make that a 10. Then you got to borrow from there to make that 9, make it a 10. Has anybody ever been in that situation before? Has anybody? Yep, we all have, right? But if you look at that, that is a vomit-inducing swirl of decimal and place values that you don't want to deal with, that you don't have to deal with, guys. You don't have to deal with that. Instead, why are you going to do all that work for 1 penny? For 1 penny. Instead, you can just do this. Instead, boom, and then 19.99, I can turn that into, hey, 20. Let me just take away $20. 19.99 is so close to $20. Just take the 20 away. And from there, apply the convenience, the compensation, add the penny back. Let me move this out the way. Right there. And so here, okay, cool. $50 minus $20, that's $30. All right, boy, we in business. And then we just add that 1 penny back. And that's what gives you the answer of $30.01. Is anybody here a converted believer now in the idea of mental math? Was this the moment where you would look at this and you say, okay, I see that it works? Okay. Like, I hope this was the moment for a lot of people, because these are the type of problems that you're going to see the most of on the ASVAB. Those 99-cent problems, they're there. They're there. My new religion, beans, rice, Jesus Christ, and Joe Biden. All right, sounds good. Let's go. Here we go. 48.99 minus 199. Here we go. Let's get this one in. What can we do here? So hint, 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 hint. Someone hinted at this earlier with chaining. Chaining will work here. That's right, everybody. If you go ahead and look at subtraction as the difference, think about it like this. If I'm here, and let me use someone as an example. Let's say I'm using Leah as an example. So Leah, sorry, you're the first one on the camera. So I'm here, Leah's here. Let me go over here. So, okay, cool. So I'm here, Leah's here. Let's say we are 2 steps apart from each other, right? So Leah, if she takes 2 steps, she's right where I am. If we both take 1 step, everybody, true or false, we're still 2 steps apart. True or false? True or false? Right, true. True. If we are both 2 steps apart and we both take another step, we're still 2 steps apart. So there's 2 ways you can easily think about this problem. One, you can go ahead and move them both up by 1 penny to make 49 minus 2 to make it 47. That is one way to do it. You move them both up by a penny to make it a whole number, and you subtract. Or you can split and glue here, because this is honestly the more logical way, the more sensible way, because again, it applies to everything. But you can split and glue to make it much more convenient, because you can say, I can say that this is subtracting 99 cents and subtracting $1. Because if you start off with the 99 cents, again, in your head, you have done yourself a favor. You have, boom, right there. The 99 cents are gone. And you got $48 minus $1, $47. Same thing. Same thing there. And then lastly, moving over here to the last one, I'm just going to zoom on slowly over, give you a chance to take a screenshot. All right, lastly here, 47.75 and 25.25. Everybody, what's the convenience here? What is the convenience? Right, the 25 cents and the 75 cents. Very convenient, very convenient. And so what we can say is, yo, let's split the 25 up into 25 cents and $25. Because if you take that first, then you can give yourself an easier time. Again, I got to say this a million times. This is what's happening in your head. So the 75 and the 25, booyah, that's going to turn this into $1, or you can just turn this into $48. Either way, you can keep it as $47 plus $1 plus 25, or you can just put the dollar with the 47 to make it 48. Up to you. Up to you. So we can have this as 48 and put that in red there. 48, once you add those together, I'll just keep it in purple. And then you add on that $25. Again, either way is fine. And so here, I just add the 20, $68. Add the 5, $73. So my question to everybody here is, are decimals as hard as you thought? Does mental math make this harder or easier? Right, it's not as scary as you might have thought, right? Because remember, mental math is not anything new. It's just using the idea of convenience. It's basically taking a step back and just asking yourself, how can I do this easier? That's really what mental math is. Mental math is not like automatically trying to just grab your paper and pencil and just go, blah, blah, blah. No, mental math is, okay, what's going on here? What's going on here? And you just take care of business. That's what it's all about. Taking a step back and processing it in a different way. That's really all it is. Math raises my blood pressure up. Exactly. So, question. How was that? Is mental math right now for addition and subtraction useful? Is mental math useful right now? Depends on when there's 3 digits, Abraham. Kind of Tiffany, Swanee, just have to get familiar and continue with those certain steps. That's right. Swanee, again, yeah, it's practice. Once you understand how it works, then it's repetition. Once it's repetition, then it's solidified. Once you have that, then speed. But you cannot get to speed before you are correct. Again, be correct before you are quick. Be confident before you are quick. It's a lot of fun, right? Yeah, it's a lifesaver. It's helpful. Happy as heck you joined the class. So let me get Julius in here. All right, so awesome. It's useful for you, Leah. I'm glad. Leah, I'm glad that you joined the class. It's for real. David, what's going on, my man? How we doing?
Hold on. Hey, again, let me know if I'm crazy. Right now, just let me know if I'm crazy. About the first one, though. The first decimal question, because I did look at that, the way he was doing it, I was like, okay, it's minus, right? So that means we gotta add one and then take one away since we're subtracting, right? Correct?
One more time.
So I'm looking at the first decimal question, and I'm thinking we gotta first add one, then take it away because we're subtracting, right? Yeah, we're subtracting.
Well, think about it like this. If you add 1 to 1999, you get $20.
Right.
Add 1 to negative 1999, you get 1998. Gotta know how to deal with the negatives.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. It's the negative.
It's the negatives for me.
Yep. And it's all good because I also have a bunch of classes on negative numbers as well. So
yeah,
it's all good. So with that said, glad I can answer that, David. Again, it's really, it's those little things, but I'm glad you asked. So with that said, let's go ahead and move forward here to multiplication. I'm confident that I'm able to get in the next 15 minutes. I'm very confident that we can get at least the idea of multiplication, splitting, gluing. I'm going to avoid using estimating and compensating because that does take a little more wrapping your head around, but it's the same idea, but I'd rather just stick to one because I only have 15 minutes left. Are you guys cool with that? Where I only show you split and glue for multiplication? Hey, no worries if you're lost with decimals, because I know that decimals are not convenient for everybody, but we'll get there. We'll definitely get there. So again, stay till the end if you want to know if you won your Ace the ASVAB shirt. So I'll go ahead and pick a winner at the end. It's all randomized from my phone number there. And then I'll also get into talking about the program if you're interested in that, and then give you a nice little convenient little discount, plus the chance to win an upgrade to the year for free. And if I pick you and you already bought the year today, then I'm going to go ahead and send you a shirt and a hoodie. So, to make up for that. So with that said, up next, multiplication. So here, I'm going to give everybody here 2 minutes. Just try it out the best way you know how. Do it how you know how to do it. And we'll come back in 2 minutes. Go ahead. So with that said, let's go. Let me show you how we would do this the traditional way, and then I'll show you the convenience of mental math. So here we go, 15 times 4. All right, so 5 times 4, that's going to give us 20. And then we have 1 times 4, that's going to give us 4. 4 plus 2, that gives us 6. So the answer here is 60. Cool, sounds good. Who here did it in this way right here? All right, great, sounds good. So I am going to invite you to think about it in the same exact way. So remember, everybody, when we did, whoops, oh, I think I just broke the pencil. So if we're doing this, no, I didn't, cool. If you did the 5 times the 4, that was the 20. Then you did 1 times 4, which was 4, which is technically 10 times 4, which is 40. Don't worry. Let me show you exactly how we're going to do this exact same thing with mental math. Everybody, like I said, split and glue applies to every operation. What do you think I mean when I apply split and glue to 4 times 15? Feel free to raise your hand if you want to go ahead and answer that question. What do you think I mean when I say split and glue when it comes to multiplication? Israel was up there first after I called it. Israel, go ahead.
So in this case, we got a multiplier, for example, 40 times 10 and then 4 times 5, and then add them up together, boom.
Exactly. So everybody, let me go ahead and just illustrate what Israel just masterfully said. So we have a 10 here, and we have a 5 here. Everybody, true or false? 15 is 10 and 5. 15 is 10 and 5. Perfect. Here's what we're going to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say 4 times 10, again, because that is 10, not 1, that is 10. And then we'll do, I'm going to add that back, because remember, when we split 15, that's 10 plus 5. So we're going to split the 15 up into 10 plus 5, perform the multiplication, and then add it back, glue it back together. This is what you can do with mental math here. Because guess what, everybody? 4 times 5, that's the 20 that you saw in the beginning. 4 times 5 is right there. 4 times 10, that's the 10, the 1 times the 4. You just did it in the second place value, which is the tens place. So you are literally doing the same exact thing that you're doing up there, just in your head in a much faster, more convenient way. This is literally like trying to drive from Florida to New York, only taking local roads. And then over here, you just discovered I-95. Now, is it still going to suck sometimes? Yeah, but it's a lot faster. It's a lot faster. So with that said, that's the idea there. So what you're going to have here is 40 plus 20. And everybody, 40 plus 20 makes 60. That is how you can use split and glue with multiplication. You like the analogy? Yeah, so that's the idea there. That's the idea there. If you couldn't tell, I drive up the East Coast, up and down. I do. I gotta go on a road trip soon. If anybody has any destinations, shoot me a text. So I live in Florida, so I kind of want to go west. I want to go road tripping. So with that said, let's go ahead and take a look here. 16 times 5. Oh, take a picture here if you need to, really quick. Take a picture. Go ahead. Take a picture. All right, sounds good. So here goes 16 times 5 now. So here's the convenience behind it. what I can do is I can split the 16 into 10 and 6. So this is happening again in your head. So I got 10 and then I got 6. So I split them up into 10 plus 6. So I'm adding these, but I'm still just going to go ahead and multiply them both by 5. 10 times 5, 6 times 5. That's going to be 50 plus 30. 50 plus 30, 80, and you're done. Boom. Boom. All done. All done. Yes or no? Who is now getting comfortable with this? Who's getting comfortable with this now? I'm telling you, this is going to save you a lot of time on the ASVAB. This is going to save you a ton of time. This is going to save you a ton of time. I'm teaching you how to do what you already know. It's just thinking about it in a different way. I'm literally just taking you and just saying, yo, just look at it like that. Like, that's literally all I'm doing. You guys know how to do this. You guys are awesome. I'm just teaching you how to look at it another way. Here we go. 2 times 11. That's a joke. Let me go ahead and just stop right there. And then let me go ahead and go over here to 13 times 5. So Pang, these questions specifically, no. But these questions, these operations are part of every single problem that you'll do. So they're not going to directly ask you, hey, what's 13 times 5? No, they'll say, hey, Jimmy has worked 5 hours and he gets paid $13 an hour. How much money did Jimmy make? And so you have to know and understand that once you realize it's 13 times 5, game on, do it as quickly as possible and move forward. That's the idea. So Pang, let me know if that makes sense. And let me know if that's how to pronounce your name, because the N, typically it's silent from my understanding, but let me know. So here, 10 times 5, 3 times 5. Then you add it together, and that is 50 plus 15, and that is 65. Right there, quick. Again, this is happening in your head. Happening in your head. Everybody here feeling good about that? Leah's feeling pretty good. Abraham too, sounds good. Dwight looking good there, okay. Cool. All right, sweet. Let's move forward here. Let's move it forward because I want to give you guys the opportunity to practice one of them here. So 16 times 8, that is going to be 10 times 8 plus, and again, you got to be able to do this in your head confidently, 6 times 8. So what this turns into is 80 plus 48 in your head, and that becomes 80 plus 40, 120, 128. 128. So look at that. You can do a 3-digit result in less than 5 seconds. Less than 5 seconds. It's possible. 14 times 7. I'm looking at 14 times 7. That's going to be 70 plus 28, 98, done. That's how quick it can be. That's 70 plus 28. I don't see 14 times 7. I see 70 plus 28. And so you turn that into 98. Over here, 18 times 12. I don't see 18 times 12. I see 180 plus 36, 216. That's what I see there. You can turn that into 216 super fast. Because again, you turn this into 18 times 10. Wait, let me go ahead and do this. 18 times 10. And then you have 18 times 2. Yeah, is it tougher to do 18 times 2? Sure, go cry about it. But you practice for this, okay? You practice for this. That's what practice does. The reps get you here. So 180 plus 36, 216. Done. Done. Damn, I didn't mean to be mean like that. That was my actual coach coming out. I love working with youth and youth sports. Just, hey, cry about it, man. Go ahead. So, boom. But that's the thing, like, David, you saw how quickly I did that. Like, I see 19 times 8. There's 2 ways you can do this. That's literally 80 plus 72, 152, done. Or you can look at that as basically 20 times 8 minus 8, 160 minus 8, 152. That is estimating and compensating, but I'm not going to show you that today. Not going to show you that today. But that was both splitting and gluing and estimating and compensating. So if you think I'm a math guru, yo, there are people that can do like 1,256 times 1,317. Quick, like less than 2 seconds. I ain't it. I know how to narrate this and make this a story for y'all to be interested in it. They're probably not. They're probably people that don't leave the basement very often. But nonetheless, you get where I'm coming from. So here we go, 19 times 8. This turns into 10 times 8, 9 times 8, and then you add it together. So 80 plus 72, add it back, 152. Done. Boom. Carrie Ann, glad you got that. So with that, but that's the thing, David, you can't get to the 5th floor without getting to the 4th, without getting to the 3rd, without getting to the 2nd, without getting to the 1st, without learning how to crawl and walk and run. Like, it takes time, man. It takes time. So once you get there, you'll get there. But I guarantee you, once you're actually there, you're never going to look back. Like, I practice my mental math. I'll be very honest with you guys. I practice my mental math like once every like 3-4 months. That's where I'm at now, because I put so much time in the past that now I can look at it like it's like riding a bike. I'll have a quick 30-second warm up and I'm like, all right, cool, let's go. Because it made sense. If it makes sense, it sticks with you for so much longer. So Montel, I got you. So with that said, everybody, it is 7:52 here. I would love for you to take a screenshot of this one. That way you can try it on your own at home. You can go ahead and use a calculator to check your work. If you ask me to check your work, even if you're in my program, I'm gonna look at you funny because you can check your work here on the calculator. So feel free to go ahead and try these out.